Well, hey, everybody, welcome to the Celebrate Columbus show. My name is Josh Burnett, and I'm super excited to be back with you all to be celebrating Columbus again. And I'm really excited to celebrate with someone who's doing some amazing things in Columbus as well as online, and I think in California. And so I'm really excited today to be talking with Ryan Murray, a local artist, a YouTuber, and an instant influencer. Thank you so much, Ryan, for coming on the show. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, Josh.
Yeah. So we were talking before the recording this episode about a little bit about Ryan's journey, and it's really amazing. And I think everyone who watches and listens to this episode, I hope that you'll be as inspired by his journey as I have been. And then you take what you learned from this episode and apply it to your life however you can. The reason that we're back here doing things the way we are at Celebrate Columbus is I want to introduce you to creative, intelligent, inspiring, community-minded people that can help you celebrate Columbus in your own way. And so that's why I'm super excited. You see the awesome background that Ryan's got in his, we'll call it a Harry Potter like studio at his house. So I'm going to go ahead and get into it, Ryan. So for those who might not know you, maybe have seen you around town or know your wife, could you tell us a little bit about you, your family, and what you're all about?
Yeah, Megan and I have 4 boys. It's pretty crazy. On top of that, Megan being a stay-at-home mom, she owns a dance studio here in town, Best Dance Center. That's pretty awesome. She went there when she was a little kid and then got the opportunity to own it, and she hasn't looked back. So she's doing amazing with that. She kind of makes me look like the not so super parent, but yeah. And for myself, like I moved here when I don't even remember because I'm so old now. 8, maybe 9, from California, and I've lived here ever since. Went to all the schools here in town, literally, because we moved around all the time.
And so once you graduated from high school, how did you get to where you are today?
I stopped doing art like right after high school. I just got really busy with, trying to keep a job, and then I still wanted to play football, so I did semi-pro football for 3 years. So there was just no time to draw, and I mean, I wanted to go to school for drawing, but everyone's like, you can't get a job doing that, so you need to get a real job. So yeah, I went to school and got a graphic design degree, and I've never used it. So still did that. And then, you know what, I started doing art again after my kids were born, just drawing them pictures here and there, drawing with them. And then they just kind of took me step by step on getting to where I am pretty much.
Yeah. So how did you actually get started into art? How did you know that, you had a talent or a knack for it? I know I am the world's worst drawer I mean, I'm so bad at it, and I just admire people who can draw. And if you've ever seen Ryan's stuff, I mean, it is so realistic and it's so amazing. How did you get into it?
Thank you. You know what, we were just poor growing up. Like I said, we moved around a lot. We didn't have a lot, and I was grounded a lot. Um, so I always had pencil and paper. I mean, even after my mom's gonna kill me, even after my mom found out that I like drawing, so then I would get grounded from that. Found a Sharpie, drew all over my furniture. So I got to keep pencil and paper around after that. So it was pretty much being bored and not being able to do anything else for a while.
So you got into it, and then you get a graphic design degree, but you then kind of go like 9 to 5 job, I assume. And at some point, you started a YouTube channel. And I remember from the very beginning seeing some of your stuff, and I was like, man, this is so cool. Like, I liked watching your process, and just kind of like, it was just relaxing to kind of go through from nothing to something. And I've really resonated, whether it's the like eventually we're going to talk about a mural that you've done that was really cool, but just stuff on paper. And and seeing the realistic, maybe it's a football drawing, or maybe it's taking your wife's MacBook and designing all over it.
Yeah.
What prompted you to start a YouTube channel?
It started with my kids. Every year I've started doing a birthday drawing for them, just whatever they're into that year. And they started watching YouTube themselves. And that year in particular, I can't even remember how old they were, maybe 5. Um, they were like, I want to see my drawing on TV. So I researched how to start a YouTube channel because I really didn't even watch YouTube that much myself. Uploaded their drawings on there, and that's how it started. And it was kind of just like a birthday thing for a while, and then it just started growing from there.
Yeah, and so for those who might not, they've never seen your YouTube channel, could you tell us a little bit about the channel? What you do regularly on there, where they can find that?
Yeah. The channel is RM Designs 15. The RM Designs was actually a logo I had to make in graphic design school. So
Nice.
just something I had to throw it up there when I started that channel. And it was nothing serious, just literally time lapses of some drawings that I was doing. No editing skills whatsoever, just doing it on like iMovie or whatever. So very, very amateur. And then I started watching drawings on YouTube and trying to, do some of that stuff, some of the editing techniques, and really starting the channel because of the kids made me even better because I would see what they were doing and I'm like, now I don't think I'm that great. So, it got me to try new things, and it literally wouldn't have happened unless my kids were just like, I want to see my drawing on TV.
Yeah. I mean, every kid these days, I know my kids, they want to be a YouTuber. And so that's really cool that you could bring some of those drawings to life for them and, make them Instagram, or in this case, YouTube influencers, which we're going to get to in just a second. So, you've had some pretty wild stuff happen throughout the last, let's say, year or so, right? Let's celebrate that for a second. And, someday I hope that you'll be able to watch back to this episode and say, hey, look how even farther I've come from that conversation with that guy. What are some of the things that you've celebrated through your channel, and some of the things that maybe, it's actually up in Chicago, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Tell the people, some of the cool stuff you've been able to do.
Well, it really started a year ago when Megan and I sat down, and first off, like I was that person that was like, YouTube isn't a job. I didn't know you could get paid. I didn't know that there was all this stuff. Never wanted to be an influencer. So anyway, we get into it for about a year, and then Megan and I sat down and decided to like give it a shot. Like I wanted to do art for my job, and she's like, let's give it a year. You upload consistently, whatever, blah, 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 get it going, and we'll see where we go from there. So I did it for a year, and pretty much nothing happened. And then out of nowhere, my kids found this video from ZHC's channel and said that he was having people try out to draw or something like that. So a couple weeks go on, and I finally look at the video, and it's to audition for Instant Influencer. So I didn't used to put my face on camera very much. Like I'm super awkward, really shy. So it was just my hand, you saw the beginning drawing.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, we never saw your face,
Yeah.
Then I really liked it because you started to get more comfortable, and yeah, it was cool.
Yeah. So finally started showing my face, but I had to audition, send in an audition tape. There was all this criteria, blah, blah, blah. Sent it in. It was awful. But for whatever reason, the production team and Zach and his team reached back out and asked for another audition tape with me and my family. We did that, made it on the show. One of 10 artists in the United States.
Dude, that is so cool. And I think the relevance of the reason why we're coming back on the show, and I really wanted to have Ryan as soon as possible, is when does this show premiere?
The show premieres tomorrow at 3 p.m.
So just in case you're watching this in the future, on Wednesday, October 27th, the start of Instant Influencer, and that's by a guy named ZHC, correct?
Yep.
And so for those who hopefully they'll be able to check that out, and we'll put the link in the description. for those who are like, well, what's this about? It sounds like a contest show. Like, what can you tell us? Obviously,
Yeah.
we can't get too much into it, but from the promotional video, what are some of the things that people would see you participate in?
Well, to start off, Zach, his channel ZHC, he's the largest art influencer in the world right now. I mean, he's literally just blown up on YouTube, 23 million subscribers, I think, and counting. So um, everything is art. I mean, he customizes stuff, he gives stuff away. There's always a bunch of money and big, houses, cars, whatever. So the Insta Influencer Season 2 is an art competition where 10 artists compete against each other in crazy, out of this world art contests, whatever, competitions, challenges for a chance to win $100,000 and a collab with ZHC and his team.
Wow. And so I saw the trailer, the intro video, and you are doing some crazy stuff. And
Yeah.
it looks like, you kind of have to get out of your comfort zone some on this show. Is that correct?
Yes, very
I mean, I
much
saw
so.
you even painting on like on the floor. You were doing like wild stuff on
Laying there painting on our backs. Yes, that was, and I don't paint.
there. Well,
So,
you did that day.
yes, yes.
But
And,
yeah.
getting used to, like, there's usually one or two cameras that I'm working with. Having like 20 cameras around at all time was enough.
Yeah. Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, as I watched that, so I saw you upload that and I clicked on the video to watch it and I thought, wow, like look how far this guy has come in just a couple of years. Obviously, it's not just an overnight thing. I mean, you've been drawing, as you said, since you're a little kid. But, how does that, like, as you're living this journey right now, but reflecting, like, who or what, are some of those moments that you can celebrate that have gotten you to where you are at right now?
Yeah. I mean, we can go back before I started the YouTube channel. One of my friends, I'm sure a lot of you know him around town, Justin King. He's been huge on YouTube and I just never was. And for years, he's like, just draw a picture and put it online. People will watch it. Just draw, put it online. You already do it anyway. So I never listened to him, never had time, whatever. So, it's crazy to think that if I would have done it 10 years ago, that I could have been one of the, earlier art influencers or whatever. But that was never something I wanted. So, but it's crazy to look back and see, like, Justin was telling me to do this. And then, my mom's like, don't go to art school. You're not going to do anything with it. And just relationships getting in the way, work getting in the way, not drawing. And then just the kids coming around and bringing back like a hobby that I love doing and literally making me better at it because I don't know why, but
Yeah. And I think about, you said something, you had a conversation with, you and your wife, who I went to high school with, and she encouraged you, but she also like gave you this goal of like, okay, like let's try this out for a year. And I know for some people, whether it's art or I know like my family's really big into like pottery or videography and things like that. And so like when you try to do something that maybe could be a side hustle, you expect or you hope, man, like I want something to happen now.
yeah.
But like you guys set a year goal and look at how far you guys have come in was a year and a half now or
Yeah, it's
something.
no, I think we're right at a year now, maybe a couple months over a year from when we sat down and talked. So yeah,
That's so cool.
I know. Yeah, Megan is great. I'm sure a lot of you know her too. I mean, she owns a business. She's amazing at organization and goals and just everything. And she made me want to be so much better than I already was, and then, she helped me be more organized, all this stuff. So it really, I wouldn't have been able to do it without her support and like pushing me to do it. And then like when I get down, because I'm like, I only have 200 subscribers. This is dumb. She's like, you have a year, just do it. If this is what you want to do, then, we support you. So yeah, I wouldn't have been able to do it without Megan. So
That is so awesome. Well, that kind of, hits that last question of who or what you would like to celebrate. But I think about maybe those who are watching the show, and I know I'd love to, as you and I share a celebrity hero in Gary Vaynerchuk. And
Yes.
one of the things I'm trying to do through the show is to encourage, inspire, people to use their gifts, their talents, their time to make Columbus a better place. And I think, we didn't even talk about this, but you have designed some pretty like they have logos that have some staying power around town. Could you talk about that real quick, and then I'll finish my thought? What are some
Yeah.
of the logos that you've helped, or things that you've designed around town?
Yeah. I mean, I guess I have somewhat used the graphic design background, but Graham's Bakery, I
Mhm.
did their logo, and it was awesome working with them. They had a real strong idea on what they wanted with coffee spills. So I
Yeah,
literally
that's a
went,
really cool one.
yeah, like I went into the shop, spilt coffee, and like they picked out the rings that they like, and I made it into a logo. So that was pretty cool.
And did you
Uh,
do anything with Beth's Dance Center?
yeah, yep. And Best Dance Center, for those of you that don't know, is the one of the oldest dance studios in the state of Indiana. So,
Yeah.
and for the longest time, they just had a wooden sign that just had Best Dance Center written out. There was no logos, like, so yeah. I mean, Megan had this idea, with these rings and stuff, and some sort of fancy font that she's always felt like the logo should have been, when she went there when she was younger. So we finally, after months of working with probably my most difficult client.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, getting the logo to
Family,
look
it's so hard to do that. Yeah, you're right.
yes.
Well, it's definitely paid off. But so getting back to the question of, like, for those who, I know that, I've got a couple friends who are probably watching this right now, but they're great and they're very talented with art and with drawing or graphic design. What advice would you give them about starting off on, like, how to not like go from, where they're at to Netflix or instant influencer, but towards a goal? Like, what are some of the things that you've learned that you think could help somebody else?
I think like the biggest thing for me is like trust the process, because anybody that's artist or anybody that has this niche that they like to do, you're usually like your biggest like, I don't even know what I'm trying to say, like you're so hard on yourself. And
Critic,
I
your
know,
biggest critic?
yeah, it's your biggest critic. Like I hate every drawing I do. Like
Mm,
even after sometimes when they're done, like I just look at them like this is awful. But you just have to trust that process and keep going, and set goals. I never ever set goals in my life. I didn't care about anything. I just went along with it, and then Megan is so goal oriented, and she got me into the law of attraction like so
mm.
much. So we made like vision boards on what we wanted, and literally it's so weird, but anything we've ever put on a vision board like we have, like, and it's happened. So just
That's
trust the
awesome.
process, don't give up on it, especially if it's something that you're passionate about. Just do it, have fun.
That's so cool. And I hope that you who are watching this and listening, you've been encouraged, you've been inspired, you've learned something from Ryan. I'm so excited to watch this show on YouTube. And where can we find the show?
Yeah, so on ZHC's channel, it's literally just ZHC.
Mhm.
um, he has teal hair, you can't miss him.
Yeah.
Yes. And it'll I'm pretty sure it's every Wednesday and Friday. I don't know if that's been released yet. So
Okay. Yeah. Well, by the time I'm sure they're watching this, it'll probably, those details will be out there.
yeah.
Um, question on this vision board was winning the instant influencer. Is that on the board? Because we need to know. It sounds like you're going to
No,
win that if it's on there.
no. So instant influencer was never a thing. It was just my kids. So, but what I did put on the board, which is back here,
Awesome.
is a check that I wrote myself from YouTube. And this was April 1st of this year that I wrote this
Yeah.
check for $10,000. And I auditioned for Instant Influencer at the end of April. So I knew nothing about it when I wrote that.
Wow.
And
Well, let's add at
this
least
still
one
hasn't
more
happened.
zero.
It's still up on my
Yeah. Add one more zero there. All right.
yeah.
That's so cool. That's something I remember seeing from Jim Carrey, him, writing a check to himself for
Yep.
services rendered. And Dude, you're killing it. I'm so excited to be getting back in this and celebrating you. I remember again as the channel started, and I can't wait to see where it's at a year from now. And for those of you who are watching, you don't have to be the, world's greatest artist to start a channel.
Mhm.
You just have to put yourself out there and know that there are people in the world that get value from your art, from your process. And I'm one of those people that really enjoys watching someone like Ryan use his talents for good, because I can't do that. And other people, you can't maybe do this, but you can do that. And so that's what we're going to be going through on this version of Celebrate Columbus. I like to celebrate people because that's something I feel like I'm good at. Is I like to point and connect you to people like Ryan and say, hey, like, this dude's awesome, you need to check him out. I like promoting. But maybe for you it's drawing, or it's podcasting, or writing a blog, whatever it is. I think that Columbus is a place where, number one, you can use that talent for something that'll make a difference, but also maybe like Ryan, you can make such a big splash that you can do a mural for Netflix, you can be on a YouTube channel. You never know what's possible in Columbus, right, man?
Yeah, no, it's crazy. And it'll come out
Yeah.
of nowhere.
Well, we're cheering you on, man, here from Columbus, and can't wait to tune in to Instant Influencer with ZHC. I'm pulling for you to be the winner this season.
I appreciate it, man.
All right. Well, we will see you next time, Columbus. Thank you so much for watching this first episode back with Ryan Murray. Make sure to cheer him on, check it out, share it all over social. Let's show him some hometown love. We'll see you later.
See ya. Thanks for having me, Josh.